One of my peers are there. One of my peers are there.
All right, ladies, we're gonna go ahead and get started.
It says sign up or sign in. So do I hit the sign in?
People.
No, ma'am. I need to look at it because are you sure? I mean, I know you sent them the link, so it's got to be the right app, but there are lots of scanning apps. Maybe it's not the right one because Genius Scan doesn't make you have that.
Unless she's not signed in like to receive apps yet on her phone.
Oh, is it asking you to sign in the App Store, like in the Google Play Store?
No, it's bringing apps.
And what does it say?
Bringing apps.
Yeah, you might need to sign in on your phone so that it's able to download.
Oh, I think she's looking at you mean the Bridging Apps website?
Bridging apps.
Yeah, because that's what I did it from.
Oh, okay. You shouldn't have to sign in.
It says sign up or sign in. Those are the only two options that I have.
Okay, let me send. I'm gonna send another Genius Scan. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, there is an option to sign in our website, but you don't have to. And so what you need is to be able to download the app. There's a download button for that on that app page, but Melissa can send you the direct link.
I'm gonna send you the direct link, Miss Jackson. Okay, hold on, let me get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I needed to, Melissa. This Miss Roberts.
Okay, so let me send. Okay, so let me do this real quick. I'm gonna send it to the Android, and you'll have it for your Android, and then one for the Apple. So let me do this real quick.
Okay, because I had to sign in too.
For the Fire tablet.
Yeah, for a tablet, you would use the Android. Or
I don't know that it's
tablet.
available for Fire Tablet. Let me look.
Oh, okay.
Because Fire Tablet is in the Amazon store, and I'm not sure that they have it. Let me check real quick.
So I just
store gave me something different that I didn't recognize.
Okay, so I just sent you the one for the Android. Let me send the one for your Apples if y'all have Apple, so that y'all have. Let me get that to y'all. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, the Amazon App Store does not have that exact app, so you cannot use it on a Fire Tablet.
Okay, so I sent it for Apple and I sent it for Android. Let me see, did the Android go through?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
It came through mine.
Okay, perfect. So y'all have it. If you have an Android, you use that link. And if you have an Apple, it just sent for that link. And it's a direct link to Genius Scan.
Oh, okay.
And then just hit install.
Yes, just hit install.
Oh goodness. Lord help us, Lord.
Someone sounds like they're taking off on an airplane.
For real, when I hit that install, it did that.
All right, somebody else can mute your phone.
I can't mute the phone because I'm installing this.
We have an emergency at the apartment.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought it was.
Oh, okay. It's not my phone. Thank the Lord.
No, that's what I thought it was, one of the emergencies. All right, lady.
This is Juanita, so it's on my phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you mute your phone, Miss McCoy? I'll go ahead and mute it for you. There you go. So I'm going to mute everybody that's not muted so far.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. I mean, it says open.
There you go. And
yay. Well, it's still on.
So if you're on a phone, it's *6, and then if not, I'm muting you if you're on Zoom. So *6.
Okay, I'm finna mute. Where my Zoom go?
Yes, ma'am. I think I muted her right before she was saying something. All right, ladies. So thank you for coming in today. It's March 10th. We're almost through the month already. I can't even believe that. And so I just want to say thanks for everybody being here. We are going to have a lot of information today. So I am recording it, and it will be on YouTube so that y'all can go back and go at your own pace again if you need to review it. So just letting you know that. And so we have Miss Amy back. Yay! She is the program coordinator for Bridging Apps, which is part of the Easter Seals, Greater Houston. She has a BA in psychology and a master's in education, early childhood for Auburn University. She's taught public school. She has done a variety of classes, including co-teach, inclusion, adaptive behavior. She is also a speech pathologist. That's great. Actually, probably when no. Oh, she worked with the group. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I had an advocacy group.
Yeah, advocacy group. And so basically, she's going to hear. We're going to go over Genius Scan again because, we're trying to make sure we get our timesheets in on time, which y'all did an excellent job on it this time. Thank you. But this is just going to be one less thing you have to worry about putting it in the mail and going snail mail. So this is going to be teaching you how to do the scan so y'all can get it directly to me, without having to worry about it going through the post office. So she is going to go over this again, and then we'll have her later on throughout the year teaching us some more apps that we can use on our phones, which is great. So I will turn it over to you, Ms. Amy.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And I'm still waiting for my invitation to come and be there in person when y'all are all back in person together. So
we're going to go back in April. So yay, we're probably going to go back.
I'm excited. Maybe this summer I can make it over there. And
you let me know when you're coming in, and we'll definitely see what we can do. We're always meeting on the second Tuesday of the month. So starting in April. Yep.
That would be great. Yeah, I'm so happy to be back. All that stuff she read about me is kind of boring, but basically I was a teacher for a lot of years with a lot of different kinds of students. And so I love teaching people how to do things. And so today we're going to talk about Genius Scan. I know that we have been over it before. It seems like forever ago. And this is one of those things that you really do have to do it, hear how to do it and practice it more than once to really get the hang of it. So if any of you remember me talking about it last time and you haven't practiced it, this is my soapbox again. I'm going to tell you, I have lots of ideas of how you can practice it. So we're going to talk about that after we talk about scanning it. But I think that all of you probably have some kind of built-in opportunities to practice it besides just the timesheet that you might not even realize. So we're going to talk about some of those ideas. But first of all, Melissa sent you the link to the Bridging Apps website. And you probably remember, but for Bridging Apps, we do a lot of the kind of things I'm doing right now and teaching people and working directly with clients. But we also have a website that we manage. And that website is full of apps, and we review them and we talk about how they're helpful to real people with real needs. We kind of look at everything through the lens of a disability. Disability is temporary or permanent, or if it's new or something you were born with, aging in place is a big deal. And we all start losing some of our abilities as we get older. My eyesight is terrible. If I don't have the light turned way up on my phone, I can't see what emojis I'm looking at. I mean, it's just terrible. It's just as we get older, all that stuff happens to us, our hearing and things happen. So we do a lot with looking at apps to say, how can this really help someone who maybe is losing their vision and has never had a vision problem? So that's what we do on that website. There are a lot of good resources on it. I will probably show you something about the website and talk about it every single time I see you, because I really want people to use it. The biggest thing about all of our services is that they are completely free. We are grant funded. I'm able to do this. Melissa, I don't have any charge to Melissa. I'm able to do this all through grants that we're given to specifically work with seniors. So we're really lucky in that way that we can provide everything to you at no cost. So Genius Scan is an app that uses your camera on either your tablet or your phone to basically take a picture, but it's better than a picture, because what happens when you take a picture, and some of you may have tried this, If you take a picture of a written document, when you try to print that, it will get like a yellowish kind of look, or sometimes it'll be too gray. It just doesn't print well because the camera thinks that it's taking a picture of a photo. So it's trying to put the colors in, it's trying to make it pretty like a photo. The camera doesn't really know the difference between taking a picture of a receipt for something or a document and taking a picture of your child or grandchild. So what Genius Scan does is it tells the camera, hey, we're going to take a picture of a document. This is just like putting it on a copy machine. We're just going to take a black and white picture, although you can take color pictures. Black and white scans really work the best. We're just going to take a scan of this as if the person laid it down on a flatbed copy machine. And that's what's really great about it, because when you send it to Melissa, she can print it out and it looks like you just printed it straight from your computer. It looks like a document that you typed up and it's easy to read. For a timesheet, if I were in your position, I would be really worried that maybe some of the numbers didn't come out clearly and things like that. And if Melissa's straining to see it, then something may be incorrect on it by accident. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Melissa, thank you again. Put together this really great slideshow. I can't remember the last time somebody made a slideshow for me. Like, this is usually what I have to do. So Melissa did the work for me. So what you do when you go to either the Google Play Store, if you're on an Android phone, or the Apple App Store, is you first download the app. We love that because, just like I was telling Ms. Jackson, it doesn't make you make an account. I actually have this app installed on 4 different devices. 3 of them belong to work. One of them is my personal one. And I don't have an account on any of those. So it's really nice. You don't have to worry about that. It just stores things on your device. And then you can use your email to send them, share them, do whatever you need to do with it. The picture here shows you what it looks like when you first open the screen for Genius Scan. And Melissa, I actually have my Android phone on the server. So if I can switch out, I'm going to show how to do a live scan. Just
sure. Let me make you co-host. So you can...
I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that when we were getting everybody.
Oh, no, that's fine. So you're co-host, I have you on there.
Okay. I do have a couple of kind of secrets for getting a good scan, and that's what I really want to show you. So I am here in, hold on, let me get my screen to maximize here. Why am I all frozen? So sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. My Wi-Fi kind of froze up for a minute. Okay, so this is my phone screen. I'm going to stand up. I'm in my dining room. I'm going to stand up, and I have this really fabulous prop that I'm going to show you. Know what this is? It's just a roll of paper towels, just a paper towel, regular old paper towel roll. This is going to be the secret for getting an amazing, perfect scan, because I cannot hold my phone still enough to not have a blur. So I'm going to show you, and I hope we have enough light. So I have a piece of paper here that I'm going to scan. And I'm sorry about that. Let me turn it back. So here's the screen. So when I first open the app, it looks like this. And this is on an Android device. So this is important to mention too. If you are on an Apple device right now and you're looking at this, it doesn't look exactly the same. If you're looking at your phone, it's going to be a plus sign, like what I showed earlier when I was helping Miss Jackson. I'm sorry, is it Jackson or Johnson? Maybe it was Johnson. I'm sorry if I'm.
No, it's Jackson, you're correct.
Okay. But on this Samsung, on this Android phone, it's actually the camera icon. So I have my paper laying here, and I have my sturdy paper towel roll, and I'm going to hold the phone over onto my paper towel roll. My arm is just resting, and I'm going to hit that little camera button. You're going to see it on my screen. So this is the actual paper that I have laying in front of me. Now you see, I'm just holding the phone over it. I haven't mashed any buttons, and it just took that picture for me. What we found is that having something about that height, if you're standing at a table, oops, so sorry, did not mean to scan everything on my desk either. I forgot to mash the button. When you have something about that height, it really seems to help with stabilizing your hand, and then you're also at the right height to get that picture. This is asking me to a rating. I don't want to do that right now. So now that I've scanned these, I can go back and look at it. So I'm going to look at the first page that I scanned. It actually took 2 pictures of it. So it has 2 scans in here, but I really only had 1. So that's okay if that happens. You can easily use the little trash can and throw that away. If you don't like the way the scan looks, you can always use this trash can up in the right corner and just say, you know, I just want to try again. But you can see down here, there are some edit buttons. And on Apple, the buttons are very similar. What they try to do is to use the same kind of icons that they use across your device. So your Apple edit buttons are going to look more like what it looks like in your photos and things like that. So if I want to hit this crop, then you can see it takes me back to what the phone actually saw when I was making the scan. You can even see my table and the bottom of the paper towel roll there. And I can drag these corners just using my fingers. I can drag these corners and kind of straighten it up if I want to. I will say that Genius Scan does a good job of framing that up for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And again, you saw because I had my hand still and it recognized that there was a piece of paper laying there, it took the picture automatically for me. I did not have to do anything. So I'm going to put a check mark here. I want to save this. Now, if I want to scan more than one paper, you saw how it automatically started spinning and trying to find a new paper, and that's why it took a second scan. You can do all of these and scan several together and then send them, or you can scan one at a time. When you're ready to share them, at the very top here, I'm still on this document that I've been working on. At the very top here, there's the little share button for Google. So for Android, if you're on an Android device, you're used to seeing this. This little, it looks like a V, a sideways V with 3 little dots on it. That is this share symbol that Android uses. If you're on an Apple, you're going to have a box with an arrow pointing up. That is Apple's share button. So those are a little bit different, but again, you're probably used to seeing those on whichever device you're using. So if I click that share button, then it gives me an option. This is very important because this is where a lot of people get confused and lose a document that they scanned. The first thing I'm going to do is that very top box where it says name. It just named it using today's date. And I'm not going to remember that I scanned my timesheet on March 10th, 2022 at 10:25 a.m. I'm not going to remember that. But if I click on it and backspace, I can rename it. I can name it timesheet March. Do you have a certain way you want them to name it, Melissa, or you don't care?
No, they normally just put their name, or just getting it to me is the main thing.
Yeah, okay. So I could put, I can put a little space here and then put Amy. Whatever, however you want to label it so that when Melissa gets it, she knows who it belongs to and what you're sending her. Then, sorry, my phone is going off also. I told you I have 4 devices sitting in front of me, so everything's making noises. Then this other stuff, I don't need to mess with this because when it scanned it, it put it in a PDF format. And without getting super technical, a PDF is basically a printed document. It is one that when Melissa gets it, she can't open it up on her computer and start editing it and changing anything. So when you send something, especially if it's a very important document, if you were sending a legal document or something like that, when you send it as a PDF, you can be pretty confident that it's not going to get changed. So numbers on there aren't going to be changed. Information's not going to be deleted or erased or anything like that. So you can feel pretty secure in sending something as a PDF. So we're going to leave it. That's exactly what it does for you automatically. And then the file size is going to be the actual size. You don't even have to worry about this because you're not sending anything really, really huge or unusual sizes. Now, this is the important part. When it says export to, there are a couple of different things down here. We're going to click on those blue words in just a minute, but I want to show you there are several different things down here. You can see that there's like a fax. So if someone gave you a fax number, you could actually fax directly from your phone. You could just add it to your device memory because you want to share it later. And all of these with the little lock, these are the ones that you have to pay extra for those services. But to just send it to your email or to send it to Melissa's email, you hit export to, come on, let's do this. I don't have an email set up on here, so it might not let me do it. Oh, here, let's go down here. If you keep scrolling down, there are other apps here. I actually have Gmail installed on this one, so I'm going to click Gmail, and it's going to give me some instructions there, and it's going to set it up already in my Gmail. So the Gmail that is on this phone is actually one that belongs to Bridging Apps. So you can see there in the from, it says bridgingapps@gmail.com. And it has already put the title of what I'm sending Melissa in there because that's what I named it. So I named it Timesheet March underline Amy. So she's going to know exactly what she's underscored. She's going to know exactly what she's getting. And also you can see that the attachment is there. So down there at the bottom, it's just like when you put a picture in a text or an email, it has the PDF there. So all I have to do now is put in Melissa's email address, and I don't know her email off the top of my head. So I'm going to actually send this to my work email. Oops. If I can type it in there, not. And I'm doing this part because I want you to see what happens afterwards. So this is my work email. I'm going to double check it and make sure I've spelled everything correctly. And guess what? I haven't, because I did not spell Easter right. So even when you know an email and you've been using it for several years, you might need to retype that because it will not get to Melissa if you don't put it in there correctly. So there's my email, and comes up and confirms this is who I'm sending it to. And then all I have to do, I can type something. I can say, hi, you know, this is my timesheet for March. You know, whatever I want to do. Not very great typing there, but you get the idea. So you can type a little message in there. Whatever you do to this part, it's not going to take away the fact that that PDF is still attached. So all that's already there for you. And then all you do is hit this little blue paper airplane, which I love. It's one of my favorites because paper airplanes are undervalued. Kids don't make them anymore, but I love it. They use a paper airplane. So you just click that paper airplane and it is going to send it. Now, I do not remember if we have the notifications on this one or not. But you can actually choose for Genius Scan in your settings to notify you once an email is sent, or you can go back and look in your email. So I can open our email here, and I should be able to see it in my sent mail. So I'm going to go to mail and go to my sent folder, and I can see right here at the very top that email did go through. It's in my sent folder, and Melissa should have it, except that I sent it to me, so she's not really getting it today. But again, if you can take, oh, it just popped up on my actual screen. Melissa, do you want to, I'm going to stop my share if you want to go back to the slideshow. So I don't want to make sure you don't miss anything. But if you can take a picture with your phone or your tablet, you can do this, right? I have another little tip for getting a good scan. If you are out of paper towels, or like it's the beginning of the pandemic again, like it was before, and we were all out of paper towels and toilet paper, and you don't have something that height, another idea is to put the paper on the seat of a chair, like just a regular, you know, like a straight back dining room chair here. If you put the paper on the seat and you stand behind the chair with your arm on the back of it, it's usually a really good height for that also. So just a few tips, because I feel like a lot of times when we share this with people, they get really frustrated because your hand doesn't hold perfectly still. And honestly, I feel like when you're trying really hard to hold your hand still, it's even harder. So my hand just wants to keep wiggling, you know, because I'm trying so hard to hold it still. So just a couple of tips for you. The other thing also is well, let's go through and make sure we got everything from the slides. I don't want to make sure I didn't miss something. But I'm walking you through it live because I think that's most helpful. Yes, Melissa, did you want?
Yeah, definitely remember to make sure you let your camera, give your camera permission to use it. Your phone, giving your phone permission to use the camera for this app, because it won't take anything unless you have permission to your camera. That's one thing.
I'm so glad you included that on the slides too, Melissa, because a lot of times when we're first downloading an app, we get all these questions that come up, and sometimes we just start, don't allow, we're thinking privacy, and we say, no, I don't want to do anything extra. But that is one, if you try to take a scan, if you have said don't allow and you try to take a scan later, it will prompt you and say, Genius Scan needs access to your camera to be able to do this, and give you that chance to answer okay again. But it is really frustrating when you're trying to do it and you don't know why it's working or why it's not working, and it happens to be that. And so we have a screenshot again, just like I showed you here when we were live, that it highlights, the outside of the paper, and really takes the picture for you. Again, the key is just having your hand still. And, we have lots of little tricks for that to try to help with that part. Okay, and this is exactly what we walked through. And I love that these screenshots are actually from an Apple device. So you can see there are a few things that are different. Like I said, on this very first image, the edit tool is different on the Samsung. Apple uses this little magic wand, but in general, they're really, really the same. This screenshot shows where you name it. So on an Apple device, you can name it right away here at the top. And Melissa, thank goodness, has highlighted in a red circle this little pin down here because it's really easy to see. I have a few complaints about some of the sizes of things that they make. Yes, thank you. There's a little pin there. So if you click on that, it's going to let you do exactly what I showed you, where you can rename it. And you can also rename it on the next screen when you get ready to send it to, or to save it. Yep. So here is, this is her. Hi, everyone. I think we got all of that. And it's going to show you there at the top. This last screenshot shows you where she renamed it. And then there you can see it again. Now, when you after you've scanned it, maybe you are, in a hurry, you're about to go somewhere and you want to get it scanned, but you don't get to send it out, or for some reason you type the email incorrectly and it doesn't get sent to Melissa. And she says, hey, can you try to send this to me again? Then when you first open up Genius Scan again, this is what you're going to see. This middle screen is like their home screen, and it's going to show you, I think you actually may have chosen to select something, but basically it's the same. I think it's a white screen instead, and it's going to show you all the documents that you've scanned. So that's where having it named is really helpful, because you can easily say, oh, it was my March timesheet that Melissa didn't get, and you can go click on it, and then you can do the share again. And I know it sounds silly, and I'm saying this over and over again, but I promise you the biggest mistake that people have when they are sending these, and we've done this with 3 groups now, is they don't type in the email address correctly. and you saw when I did mine, I spelled Easter seals wrong. I mean, I use that email address every single day, but you have to be very, very careful that you're spelling that correctly. So again, she's showing that you're going to export it to email, and then all you have to do is type that name in, and it names it for you. It tells you the subject, it attaches it. I typed a little message, but you don't even have to do that. The most important thing is that you get that email address, who you're sending it to, in there correctly. And yeah, so definitely the tips about how you can use those items. I already talked about that. The other thing I want to share with you is, and this is kind of really dear to my heart. I don't know if I've shared with you guys before. One of the reasons I really, really enjoy doing these senior groups is that I grew up really, really close to my grandparents, my mother's parents. My mom's mom was the grandmother that I would always tell my mom I was going to go live with her because I was frustrated with my mom. When my mom and I fought, my grandmother was like my person. And because I grew up so close to them, I of course, now with technology, there are so many things that I'm like, oh, I wish I had this. I wish I had a recording of them doing this. I wish I had pictures of this. And they've been gone for a while now. But one thing that really struck me the first time I ever introduced this app was that, all of your grandchildren, your children and your grandchildren probably text, they probably use email. If you're like me, I have a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old, they're always on their phones. It's really annoying. But one thing that tells me is that if you want to practice doing this, you could easily handwrite a short note to them. Or if you like to draw, maybe draw them a picture, something that they will be like, oh, that's my grandmother's writing, or that's special. My grandmother always talks about that with me. Or I know that, maybe it's a tic-tac-toe board. My daughter loves to play tic-tac-toe. If my mom were to like draw a tic-tac-toe board, my daughter would be excited because she'd be like, oh, grandma's thinking about when we played tic-tac-toe together. So anything like that you can do on pen and paper, you could do that for them. And we don't write enough handwritten letters anymore. So, maybe they don't even recognize your handwriting, or they want to remember it later, and they're not going to have those handwritten letters. So if you do something like that on paper and then use your phone or your tablet to scan it and text it to them, or scan it and email it to them, and make it a little surprise. Maybe it's a birthday surprise, just a little personal note to say, I'm thinking about you, happy birthday, or whatever it may be. I really feel strongly about using your family and using those people around you to help you practice this, because if you only try it today and then you don't try it again until it's time to turn in your timesheets to Melissa, you're probably not going to do a very good job with it. You're probably going to be frustrated. My other example is that my other grandmother on my dad's side, her birthday was Monday, and she is 92. And she has an incredible sense of humor. And she was a secretary for a lot of years. She knows shorthand and things like that. So if I were trying to get her to practice scanning, I would definitely say, like, write me a letter in shorthand, and make me have to decode it, or write me a joke, in shorthand, because I love seeing her handwriting. I love shorthand is kind of one of those lost arts. And so those kind of things like that means a lot to the person. And I know when you have teenagers, like my son right now, nothing can touch him. He doesn't get upset about anything. He thinks I'm too sappy, but I know that, in his heart, when he gets things from me like that, it does mean something. And when he gets things from his grandparents, it does mean something to him. So just little things like that you can practice, and maybe even just set yourself a reminder. Hey, every Tuesday, I want to send my daughter or my son a little encouraging note, or my grandchild is having a big test at school. I want to send them an encouraging note. So just little things like that. It doesn't have to be a business transaction. I really feel strongly about using your personal time and your personal life to kind of practice these skills and get better with them. So I'll get off my soapbox about that now, but just trying to give you some ideas of things you might want to do. I think Ms. Haynes has a question. Your hand is up.
You're still on mute, Ms. Haynes.
You have to unmute.
On the Android phone, the only problem I have is how to save it. I mean, where do you save it to?
So it automatically saves those in the app for you. They will not go away unless you delete them. Now, also, if you share it to Melissa's email, it saves it in your email too. So it will always be there in those sent emails, but it should automatically save everything. Just like, when you go back in, you're going to see everything you've scanned unless you choose to throw it away.
Okay, because I know at the bottom it has documents, and I've scanned different items, and I look in my documents, it tells me I haven't scanned anything.
Right, but look in the app how this one is, how like I scanned this one and then it has hi everybody, so it's already saved in the actual app. So you can pull yours up, Amy. So
do you mean your documents on your phone? like a separate thing or within the app? Because this is going to save everything. I'm saying it saves it on your phone, but what I really mean is it's saving it inside that app. Like the app is the folder where it's keeping that. So if you're looking in your phone in another folder that says documents, you're not going to see it.
Okay, I'm looking in my scan, you know, where it says, when you click on the camera to take your picture, to the far right, it says documents at the bottom.
Are you on an Android or an Apple?
Android.
Okay, let me look. That's why I've got everything in front of me so I can make sure I'm looking at it while we're talking about it. Okay.
It has document, upgrade, and menu at the bottom.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So when you're on that documents, like it's lit up, you don't see anything there that you've scanned?
Right.
Okay, did you actually send them successfully? Or maybe if you exited out while you were in the process of scanning, it may not have saved it. But if it's something that you know you sent, then it should all be there. I'm not sure why it's not saving it there. Have you scanned something recently, or is that from like, have you practiced with it like this week, or was that?
No, I think it was in January when I scanned. I was just wondering, I know it's I can go in my email and click on the email and see what I scanned and sent, but I was just wondering. And then on top of the little camera, there's a folder there.
Well, that folder item, now that when you're in the app and you see the one that's on top of the little camera, that one is actually taking you to files on your phone. Okay. So that one is going to be like outside of the app, but everything you've scanned should be on that main page when you first open it up. However, I will tell you that what I usually do, because Genius Scan is one of those that we only use the free version. We try to tell people, do not put any money into it. Don't purchase anything extra. A way to work around so that you know you have them saved is to, if you use a computer also, I know a lot of people, use desktops or laptops, computers. If you actually email it to yourself also, then you can take it from that email and save it wherever you want to on your computer, So like I have a desktop computer, a laptop, and I use it, as a desktop. And so I'd like to save all my documents in there because that's where I can actually organize them into folders, And so especially if you're doing a lot of different things, like you want to keep up with timesheets, but you also want to keep up with letters you've written or whatever, then that would be my biggest suggestion. And then that you're not it's not costing you any extra money, because if you try to connect it with those kinds of outside apps like Google Drive and stuff, it's going to try to get you to pay money. And we don't want you to do that. We always try to encourage people to not do that. That's kind of silly,
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anybody? I did have a question from Ms. Brooks. She's
okay.
saying, can you share Genius Scan to use in Zoom? So if you want to clarify that, Ms. Brooks.
Well, nope, I'm probably muted. Wait a minute, let me see if I'm.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're not muted.
We hear you.
If I wanted to scan something with Genius Scan and I wanted to use it later in a Zoom conference, would I have to save it to my desktop first, or does it just save in Genius Scan?
I would save it. If I were doing that, I would save it to whatever computer I'm going to be using for Zoom. I would save it in my files so that you can easily find it when you get ready to share it.
So save it in my files.
I would, because then when you go to share on Zoom and it gives you all those options, you can choose your file and pull it up, and it's really easy. And just as a tip, I always make sure I have everything pulled up ahead of time. And then it's a little easier to access because it kind of knows what you've done recently when you open up that share window on Zoom.
Thank you.
Look at you. You're getting fancy with it.
Not at all.
Sharing? What are you sharing on Zoom? I'm curious.
Not at all. Not at all. Sometimes I have things that I share with my Bible study. That's all. And
that's great. That's a great way to use it. And what I was doing when I was sharing on Zoom, when I was actually sharing my live phone, That is something that's called Air Server, but I will tell you that it's really tricky to use. So I usually don't recommend people, unless you've done a lot with it, to try to share like an iPad or anything like I was doing, because it takes a lot of practice. And half the time I want to throw the computer because it will disconnect or something like that. So yeah, I recommend scanning it, saving it to whatever computer you're going to do the Zoom on, and then you can easily access it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You've got some talented people here, Melissa. That's high level. I'm so excited to see everybody like using Zoom. There are so many different things you can do with it, in Bible studies and, you know, family get-togethers, long distance, and all of that. So yeah. Any other questions?
Well, they've had 2 years of experience with Zoom, so.
I know.
Yeah. So.
Well, we're glad to be getting back in person, and I'm glad. I know that you all are glad. Our senior groups here that I work with, they actually have been back in person, and I was there the first meeting for one of them, and it was just a lot of tears. You know, we were just all so happy to be together, and and it's just different when you connect in person. So I'm excited for y'all getting back and being able to do that and share stuff. And honestly, I think we spent that first meeting not really getting any work done, just kind of talking and having that, you know, fellowship together, and you know, and eating and, you know, enjoying each other.
Yeah. Anybody have any other kind of questions?
I do.
Yes, Ms. Pickens.
I just left the doctor's office, but as much as I can hear of what the presentation is about, I need to get with you. I heard the latter part, but I don't know the beginning. So
We're having it on YouTube after the class. So after in service, you can go to YouTube and it's on there. It will be on there so you can visit. Yeah, we're recording. Yeah, we're recording, so so everybody can view it later. I want to definitely record this one because it was more informational than anything. So y'all can take your time and review it. If y'all ever have questions, y'all could always refer it back to it.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you, Amy, for coming in. We'll definitely, hopefully come and see us in person, and we already have another session scheduled for later on in the year. So we will definitely get those for you, and have Ms. Amy coming out for y'all.
Thank you so much for having me, and you're welcome to share my email address with anyone who wants to contact me directly. And especially because you all know how to do Zoom, I can walk over something with you, you know, individually if you need me to.
Okay.
Yeah, please feel free to contact me. That's what we're here for.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks so much. You all have a great day. It's great to see everybody. And again, I'm looking forward to being able to see you in person one day.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Great
Bye.
day.
Thanks. All right, ladies, our meetings are not over yet. We do have a lot of information to go over today. I'm glad y'all, you know, had questions about it, and we reviewed that so that it's one less thing, like I said, that you have to worry about mailing your timesheets in. You can just scan them. Our email address is on the back of the newsletter, so you could always email it to that address, and then Constance and I both get it at the same time. So just wanted y'all to have that. She will be doing more of the presentations with us later on throughout the year. Some different apps that they review. So we're going to do our breakout room. Y'all ready for breakout room? So the two questions are, what is on your bucket list? So what do you want to accomplish before we all leave this world? And then, do you have a TV show that you're currently watching, and what is it? So I want to break y'all up into 4 rooms. You'll have about 8 minutes. So let me get everybody in a room. Does anybody have any questions about this? No.
Oh, no.
Okay, hold on. Let me get everybody into the room.
Unmute. I just unmuted.
All right, I think I got everybody. Oh. All right, just give me one moment. Sorry, lady. You know, a little bit longer than I did. All right, so I'm gonna have y'all go into rooms. Again, it's gonna be what's on your bucket list and what TV show are you currently watching. All right, see y'all in a little bit.
Hello?
Yep, I'm
Hello?
getting y'all into rooms right now. Not everybody was able to get into a
Unmute.
room.
Oh, I'm going overseas. Into Africa.
Yeah, should be going into a room now. Branch, you didn't get to go in a room? You just had to hit join. Just Branch, just hit the word join and you can go into a room. Miss Branch, you're on the Galaxy, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
some kind of way I got disconnected.
Okay, let me send you to a room. Let me see. Let me just put your name on here so I know you're on there. So let me put you in a room and you be good. Okay, you should says join and you should be able to click it.
It would be we have the gas money.
Yeah, you're right.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hey,
Hey.
Melissa.
Yes,
Melissa?
ma'am. Yes,
This
ma'am.
Geraldine Smith. I want to ask a question.
Sure.
You said we'd be back in the building on a Tuesday. We're not gonna do Thursdays anymore.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll get back. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, I appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna ask that same question because I was like,
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah,
She
I was
did
thinking
say
something else.
Tuesday.
I never Thursdays, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. We'll go over that.
Miss
Okay.
Melissa,
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Lewis said that she had to leave to go to a doctor's appointment, and somebody else that was in our room had to leave, but that was earlier on. I forgot her name.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm putting on mute.
All right, ladies, go ahead and put your phones on mute so we can continue.
Okay.
Thank you. So, you will be getting a survey after our meeting today. And basically what that is going to say is these questions. What do you enjoy about the senior companion program? What do you enjoy about having a client? What are some of your past employments? What did you do in your last employment? Is there any clubs, associations, and do you have any amazing stories to share? And the reason we're gathering this is because sometimes they ask us, hey, do you have a volunteer that would like to share their story about why they like to be a companion? Or like we did Miss Brashear, she was on Facebook for us because she gave us what she did in her past employment. So we want to celebrate you and what you've done in your past. A lot of y'all have amazing stories and we don't know them. So we want to share those stories. So you'll get a survey. So it kind of just gives us an idea. So when they say, hey, do you have a volunteer that wants to share anything, we can pull up these answers and share that so that you can be on Facebook and we can celebrate you as well. So definitely, fill this out for us. If you don't want to share your story, that's completely up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine. It's not mandatory. But if you like to tell us what you've done in the past, let us know so we can celebrate you. So you'll be getting that survey after this meeting. The gift of sight. So we just had some volunteers. Thank you for coming in on Tuesday to decorate boxes for our glasses that we're going to do for AmeriCorps Week. So remember, if you have some glasses that are hanging around the house that just no good anymore, or you're not using them, please feel free to drop them off here at the senior stores on the 17th. We're going to have a drive-through. So we'll have some volunteers out there holding some boxes so you can just drop them in and pass those out. Because we want to definitely pass those to the community that can't afford glasses or anything like that. And we're partnering with the Lions Club. So that's what they do, is focus on the blind in the community. So definitely come participate with us on that. So education classes. Does this count for training? Yes or no? You tell me. What do you see?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It does count. I see the A.
Huh?
It doesn't count. I see the A.
The A, yes, the A,
Yes.
correct. The A, remember, tells you that it counts for training. So you will get, I am going to be sending out reminders after this class as well for these. So you do have to sign up. You do have to register. For those that have phones, let me know that don't have Zoom. We can give you the link for that, but you definitely need to register if you have an email account so that they can put you in the class. I will send these throughout the month so that you have an ability, have a way to register. So you'll get those on a remind as well.
where is that for, Melissa?
These are classes that you can take that are caregiver support.
Oh, okay.
That are, ladies, make sure you mute your phones. So so caregiving support program is offering these classes. So they do count for training. So just need to register though. And you
Where are they being given?
It's going to be on Zoom.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I will send a reminder out after this class as well for you to register if you want to register now. But we also have them throughout the month so that you can, if you forget to register today, you can register later. All right. So we are going to have,
Melissa,
yes.
question, please. I registered for the computer class, but I don't remember if I saw to see if there was a class you can get credit for or not. How do, I mean,
talk to me
I've already
talk to
registered
me.
for it.
Yeah, talk to me after our Zoom, after our
Okay.
meeting, and we'll get with you.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
So this is very important, ladies. Mute your phones because this is very important. So our next session is March 24th. That is 2 weeks from now on Thursday. We are not going to have our regular in-service at 10 o'clock. We will start our in-service at 12 o'clock that day. So there's two things going on that day. In-service will be from 12 to 1 because we are having some presenters from DART talking to us about the new bus line, how to get here to Senior Source if you're taking the bus, all that information. So that's going to be from 12 to 1. You'll get this in the newsletter, but I just want you to know.
March 24th?
Yes. So March the 24th, from 12 to 1, we're going to have representatives from DART. And then you're going to,
I changed my appointment to 12:30, so I could be in the service. I know it's mandatory service on the 24th, but I have
that's fine. If you can't make it, that's fine. It'll be on YouTube.
Okay, but it's mandatory. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like that. I can't change it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so 24th, 12 to 1, DART representatives. Then you're going to have to sign off and then register then sign on to this nutrition and cancer prevention. And the reason we have to sign off is because we're not hosting it. UT Southwestern is hosting it, and they have very strict protocols when they do presentations. You will get a link to register. I know some of you might not want to have access to Zoom. That's okay. I will provide you the link for those that call, but I will send you the link to register for this class. So our in sessions from 12 to 1, sign off, and then sign on to the UT Southwestern. Does everybody understand that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. Is it going to start immediately after that?
It's going to start. It's going to start right immediately after the other one. So we'll try to get you 10 minutes, like 5 minutes off early, so that you can register, get onto the other Zoom.
Do we have to register to be a part of that class?
For the UT Southwest, unfortunately, yes, because they have strict protocols.
Okay. So you're going to send us a remind for that so we can register earlier enough. Okay, thank you.
And I already have it programmed to come after this session. After in service, they're automatically going to come to your phone.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So that's for that. All right. So what is it besides history here? Everybody knows it's Women's History Month, correct?
Yes.
All right. Has anybody ever heard of Sarah Rector?
Yes.
All right. Don't say anything, Ms. Jackson. Has anybody else heard? Has anybody else heard anything about Susan Rector? Sarah Rector? Okay. So make sure y'all mute your phones, ladies. Okay. So I'm going to play a little video here about Sarah Rector. Go ahead and mute your phones, ladies.
A descendant of slaves, Sarah Rector earned a parcel of land that made her so wealthy the state of Oklahoma declared her white. Tribes such as the Creek and Muskogee brought their slaves with them during their relocation. After the Civil War, these slaves became freedmen with tribal rights. Among the Creek freedmen were Benjamin and Molly McQueen, the grandparents of Sarah Rector. The 1866 treaty between the United States government and 5 Native American tribes awarded each freedman, adults and children alike, 160 acres. Sarah's arid and rocky land was 60 miles from where she lived and unsuitable for farming. Sarah's father Joseph tried to sell it in 1910, but the sale wasn't permitted even after he tried petitioning the courts. Since the land was distributed as part of the treaty, they were stuck with it and its $30 annual property tax. In 1911, Joseph leased the land to the Standard Oil Company.
Does anybody hear anything?
2 years later, an
Can y'all hear it?
independent driller struck oil. The property
I don't hear
got
nothing.
2,500 barrels.
Okay, let me
can't.
try it.
The land began.
Okay, let me try it again.
Yes, I can.
You can?
I don't
I
hear nothing.
can.
Can everybody hear?
I can hear it.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody
Jones
can hear.
can.
Okay.
No, we all
And to
can't.
earn
I
$300
can't, but
a
it's
day
okay. I'll
and
listen at it another way.
$112,000 a year. Today, that's roughly $7,500 a day and $3 million a year. Sarah Rector was instantly a millionaire.
Now I can hear.
In 1914, at only 12 years old, she paid more income taxes than anyone else in the state of Oklahoma. The country's most influential black newspaper, the Chicago Defender, reported that the white citizens were so uncomfortable with a wealthy black person that they had to deem her white. The state asserted that the decision was necessary in order to skirt Jim Crow laws. But saying that the young girl was white wasn't good enough for the men in charge. As was common with any Native American or black person with some amount of wealth living in Indian territory, the state assigned her a well-respected and, of course, white guardian to oversee her assets. News of her story spread around the world, bringing several people looking for money and even to marry the 12-year-old. After reading in the Chicago Defender the more accurate reports that she was dressed in rags and living in a shanty while her corrupt white guardian mismanaged her funds, W.E.B. Du Bois and the NAACP worked with the U.S. Children's Bureau and Bureau of Indian Affairs to rectify the situation, and to make sure it would never happen to any other black child. Meanwhile, Booker T. Washington enrolled her in his Tuskegee Institute boarding school. She graduated at 18 and moved to Kansas City, Missouri, where she bought 2,000 acres and a home, known today as the Rector House or Rector Mansion. When she was 20, she married Kenneth Campbell. They had 3 sons and lived in unapologetic luxury, helping the community and blazing trails by opening only the second black-owned auto dealership in the country. By simple luck, Sarah Rector climbed from the granddaughter of slaves to the richest person in Oklahoma. And no matter how much the people around her tried to change or control her, she molded herself into a strong, rich black woman.
Thanks for watching this.
So she was 12 years old and she was already a millionaire. Just because of her land, and she was able to get oil. So I just find that just interesting that she's 12 years old and she's one of the first millionaires at that age, only millionaire at that age. So I just wanted to share that with it being Women's History Month.
Melissa.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me her name? Because it didn't go through for me to listen in, but I did hear just a couple of, what's her name again?
Her name is Sarah Rector.
R-E-C-T-O-R?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Sarah Rector. It's not in this one we got. It must have been in the one prior.
So yeah, she was 12 years old and she was already a millionaire. From paying $30 for that land to having to pay so much more money for taxes. But yeah, I just find that's interesting. You know, we learned about Hedy Lamarr last time, that she created wireless Bluetooth and nobody ever gave her credit for it. So
what's her name?
Hedy Lamarr. She's the one that she created Bluetooth, wireless Bluetooth.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah was the first black millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I just wanted to kind of share that. And Hedy Lamarr created Bluetooth. She worked for the Navy and created sonar.
Oh.
I'm sorry, she was the first black female millionaire.
There's a black female. I couldn't see that one either, but I know last week.
Yeah, I just wanted to share this with y'all. You know, it being Women's History Month. I just wanted to kind of share that for you.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Thank you.
But so basically that's our in-service for today. I just wanted to kind of really, you know, have that genius scan so that now y'all know we have that. We will now, going back to that question someone Ms. Smith asked me earlier, April 14th, we will go, but come back to the office. So April 14th, we are back in person. Yay, I don't hear any yays. Ms. Brashear, you're on mute. There you go.
Yay.
I don't hear any yays. I don't hear any
Yay,
yays.
yay.
What
It's
time?
still on a,
That's
still on a Thursday.
It is on a Thursday. I apologize. I'm so used to Tuesdays and Thursdays now and just doing trainings and everything. But the second Thursday, we'll go back to the original schedule y'all used to have. This will be my first in-service with y'all ladies.
Oh, okay.
In person.
What time?
Melissa, I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, tomorrow we're supposed to come by and pick up the anytime meal?
Yeah, talk to me after the meeting.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
Yeah, talk to me tomorrow. Ladies, if y'all are doing any steps, I will talk to y'all after the meeting. So I don't want to have everybody else held up for not everybody's participating in that.
Okay.
So April 14th, 10 o'clock, we will have a presenter. The Dental Society, which they came before several times throughout the years to talk about dental hygiene. So they will be presenting that day, our first day back. So just letting you know that we will be going back to monthly in person. We may have Zoom. We may have Zoom here and there if there's stuff that we need to share with y'all, just to kind of keep you up to date. Like here's some trainings or anything else like that. But we'll definitely let you know ahead of time, or we'll send it through Remind or in the newsletter. The newsletters will continue. We'll still do newsletters for y'all because I know y'all really enjoy reading those. So
Yes.
So we'll continue with the newsletters, and we will start going back to in person in April because our new year starts in April for us. So we want to kind of start the new year back in person.
Okay.
All right. So that's what's going on. So after this, around 12 o'clock, you'll start getting a lot of reminds, but those are for you to register for the classes, complete that survey for us so that we can, share and celebrate what you've done throughout your life. So that you'll be getting some of those reminds shortly after this meeting.
Okay, Melissa, just sign me up for all of them.
I can't sign you. You have to register yourself.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll register.
Yeah, just register, click the link and you'll register.
Okay.
But does anybody have any other questions besides any step? I'll talk to y'all after this meeting. And then don't forget about, yes, Ms.
I have a question. Have you thought about a time for us? A time?
A time for what?
9 o'clock.
Oh, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock for the 14th?
No. Yeah. A time for our committee meeting.
Oh no, I'll get with you later on.
Okay.
I've been working about timesheets this week. Usually the first 2 weeks of the month, I'm usually working on timesheets and everything. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm still having a problem on getting the text message. So could you just put it on my Gmail?
Yeah, I already did that too. So I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either. I'm not receiving any.
Yeah. So, I don't know what to tell you, Ms. Branch, because I included your email address and your text as well. So
I don't know what's going on.
So all right, ladies. So have a great day. Stay safe tomorrow. The weather's gonna be yes.
We get 1.5 hours for this meeting.
Just go ahead and put 2 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead and put 2 hours, ladies. But definitely, be safe tomorrow. Stay home if possible. Don't go out venturing in the bad weather. So y'all be safe tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank
you,
everyone else.
All right. So if you're on,
to call you?
Yeah, call me. But if you're on any step, stay on the line. stay on Zoom so I can talk to y'all about that. But
Okay.
everybody else, if y'all have any questions, just give me a call later on today after 1, because I have another meeting right after this one.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so definitely, stay on any step. Stay on. Everybody else, if y'all have questions, just give me a call. But not, stay safe tomorrow, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
you're
Thank
welcome,
you.
ladies.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Come on,
Bye-bye.
Sally.
Bye.
Hmm.